Hello, Rocking Mystery. We had a little debate in one of your previous videos and talking about free markets and and socialized versus non-socialized healthcare. Um, but I was going to delve into uh, f- you know free markets a little bit more. Mostly monopolies. Um, and it seems like we have a difference of opinion on how a free market would work. Um, I tend to think that a monopoly would be an inevitable value for pretty much all consumer goods without a state. So without the state, companies like Walmart here in America, I'm assuming it's over there too, since it's an insanely gigantic corporation. Um, Companies like that, without a state, some interference from the state would completely dominate the entire sector. So a mom and pop store could not possibly rise up to rival a corporation of this size. In fact, even if they tried, they would just go out of business. Um, Not saying it seems to be the nature of capitalism to have a monopoly. Monopoly is kind of a natural thing to occur through the free market system. Um, that said, that's why you want the state, because you want to try to diminish these monopolies, and if they get too large, you want to break them up. And as far as I know, the state is the only thing that could do something like that, where it would break up a corporation within the free market. Um, but anyhow, consumer goods aside, I was more curious to hear your thoughts on a monopoly by necessity. So, for example, a water company or electric company. You brought up Milton Friedman, and he actually covers this topic. By the way, I disagree with Milton Friedman, but uh, he covers this topic, and he feels that there are three possible outcomes. You can have a monopoly of the state, so state-run water, state-run power. You could have a regulated monopoly, so a private water company, private power company, but regulated by the state. Or you can have a truly free market company, which would be a monopoly. So you'd have a free, United Water Corporation, which would be its own company, and it would not be regulated or controlled by the state. Now, I, for one, would prefer to either have this monopoly company regulated and or controlled by the state. And my reasoning for that is there's no reason for the monopoly water company to charge reasonable rates. In fact, it seems more likely it would charge outrageous rates because who's its competitor? There is no competitor. Um, so I completely disagree with Milton Friedman on that, because Milton Friedman, of course, says the best option would be to have the monopoly that's not regulated and not controlled by the state, so a private company. And he feels that way because it would be more efficient than a state-run or a regulated entity. Now, I disagree with that on many levels. I don't see why it would be more efficient. I don't see why they would bother investing in infrastructure or increasing the efficiency of their business when there's no incentive, because the whole point of the free market is you need to stay ahead of the Joneses or you're going to go out of business. There's no Joneses here. There's just the one company. Um, so yeah, I was kind of curious to hear your thought on an inevitable monopoly, and if you agree with Milton Friedman that a private corporation, unregulated and not no state interference at all, is preferable to a state company or a state regulated company. And I also took your little political test. It was kind of fun. Interesting questions. and I'm gonna slap that on here too. It gives me an excuse to use my editing software, which I actually don't know how to use. So yeah, let's see how this works out, huh?